The second boy, he does his behavior. Yeah. Yeah, good. I heard he had a nice, flat today. Yeah. You should come too. Excited. It's stressy. Figuring it out. Nothing. Something. He's yeah. What do you usually do? If you have now. Okay. Okay. Boker Tov. Hi, Esti. Hope you're having a good trip. Yes, we are back. We're on. Okay. Today we're going to discuss Binyamin. Binyamin first, the son of Yaakov, and Binyamin, Shevet Binyamin, the tribe of Binyamin. We're going to see some interesting things. Why is Binyamin special or different from the other of the 12 tribes? First of all, he's the youngest. He's the Ben Skunim, even because it's actually Yosef who is referred to in the Torah as Ben Skunim, but yet there is one that comes after. Throughout Sefer Bereshit, when a child is born, it's usually the mother who names the child, and we saw that was very interesting, which was different when we did our shiur on Bila and Zilpa. Difficulty giving birth. sorrow. And we could then understand why would Yaakov change the name? Because it's horrible to grow up with the same, have the name son of my sorrow, and it's enough for a child to carry that his mother died in childbirth. Also, to carry a name, Benoni, it's too much to do to a child. Son, excellent. Very good question. Why would Rachel, despite the difficulty, give her son a name, right, son of my sorrow? Why would somebody do that? Okay, we're going to see some interesting parshanut. It is possible that Yaakov interpreted the name Ben Oni to be negative, and indeed in most English Chumashim, Ben Oni is translated as son of my suffering or son of my sorrow. Yaakov changed the name to Binyamin, which means son of my right hand, a more positive name. Yaakov wanted to give his son a name signifying strength, confidence, as opposed to grief and sorrow. So this, I think, is the most accepted parshanut, that Yaakov didn't mean to disregard Rachel's wishes, but rather meant to give his newborn child what? A sense of strength and positive, instead of son of my sorrow, which was his original name given to him by his mother. Meaning, he didn't ignore Rachel's name, but he thought he wants to give his child something strong, positive. Aleph Vav Nun can mean both pain, but it can also mean strength. In Yaakov's bracha to Reuven at the end of his life, Reuven bechori ata kochi vereshit oni. Reuven, you are my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength. So maybe Ben Oni, as Michelle pointed out, how could she give him such a horrible name? Maybe she wasn't giving him a horrible name at all. Maybe she did not mean son of my sorrow, son of my suffering, but rather son of strength, my strength, right?
So why was it translated?
Many words in Hebrew that can also mean what? Both a positive side or a negative side. I came across something brilliant, just to give an example yesterday. Commandments. So, lo tachmod is negative. You shall not covet. But the root, chet mem dalet, chemda, it's beautiful. It's desire, yearning, in a very positive. Hamad, mahmadim. What do we say about a pet? Hayat mahmad. The root chet mem dalet is not necessarily negative. Okay, so here we have also aleph oni, right? It doesn't have to be. It could be taken in as well. It is possible to interpret the name differently. Rachel's name expressed not the pain she was feeling, but the strength she wanted to pass on to her son. So she called her baby son of my strength. Okay, which is actually beautiful and gives us a whole different spin, right, on the birth story, that instead of at the moment that she died, she bestowed upon her son this tragic, terrible name. The opposite. She bestowed upon her son a name with koach, with strength.
This makes much more sense, and it almost seems like the English interpretation should have said that to begin.
Excellent. I think I for sure, when being taught this story, everything that I saw always Zohar tells us that Rachel had beautiful features and a beautiful complexion. Rachel הייתה יפת תואר ויפת מראה. According to the Zohar, Binyamin resembles her. But the biblical text, as Molly pointed out, clearly says it was what? Yosef, who was also described as being beautiful. The Zohar says, sure. Yosef, though, plays something what? His brother, his brother. And he will not let it go until what? Until they bring Binyamin, right? Reshit 42. בזאת תבחרו חיי פרעה אם תצאו מזה כי אם בבוא אחיכם הקטון הנה. With this Okay? But if you said you have an younger brother, oh, okay, you know how I will believe you with regard to the fact that you are not spies? What? Bring him. And oh, that's an excellent question. Yes, he knew it would cause Yaakov great pain. He really he it seems that he needs to see whether the brothers really have, as we would say, done tshuva, have changed their mode of operation. But the Torah says that when Yosef saw his brothers, first of all, it says he recognized them and they didn't recognize him. But that's clear, right? Why that is. I mean, first of all, they come, there's 10 of them, right? Um, Easy to recognize. Plus, they were all older than Yosef. They probably didn't change as much as he did. He was 17, 18 years old when he was thrown in the pit. Years have passed. He looks different. He looks Egyptian, right? And you know when you see someone in a place that you don't expect to see them, you don't recognize them. Okay. So it's clear, but it says that when Yosef saw his brothers, it says, and he remembered. And I would think that the next line in the Torah would be, and he did remember that they threw him in the pit. He remembered the dreams. And therefore,
To this, it's off topic, but do you think that Yosef might have wondered if his father was complicit in that?
I often ask that question. Yes. It's an excellent question. Did Yosef think that Yaakov was partially involved or did he have a part in it? Um, I think I think that when the Mefarshim ask, why did all these years pass and Yosef never sent word that he was alive, right? I think part of the answer is he also holds his father responsible for what happened. He sent him out, knowing or not knowing that the brothers hated him. And part of it is it's very difficult for him to reach out, even though now that he's second to Pharaoh, he should be in a place where he could send a message back home and say, what? I'm alive. Everything's okay, right? And yet he doesn't. He doesn't contact his father, right? So that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another interpretation that he doesn't contact his father because he believed his father was not complicit, and he felt that it would have destroyed his father if he had known
What his brothers had done. That's why he never shared. Okay. Very good point. Yes, there's a very big question at the end in Parshat Vayechi whether Yaakov ever knew what actually happened. That they never shared. There was an understanding between Yosef and the brothers that they never told their father the whole story, knowing that they would never be able to sit at a Shabbos table if the truth was I hear it in my head. Right? Okay. Vayome Yisrael. Interesting that he's called what? Yisrael. Okay. Lama hareotem li. And this is that this is going to cause tremendous pain to Yaakov. Lama hareotem. Why have you harmed me? Lehagid laish haod lachem ach. By telling the man that you have another brother. What is he actually saying to the brothers? What?
Could have kept them.
You didn't have to say anything. Right? No, you don't have to say everything. You didn't. You could have held back, and you didn't have to say that there was an. And now Yaakov turns the whole thing back with them.
Joseph knew.
What?
Joseph knew that they had another brother.
Yes, but look at their answer. The brothers. Pasuk Zayin. Vayomru Shaol Sha'al Ha'i Ulemodaltenu Lemor Ha'od Avichem Chai Hayesh Lachem Ach. The brothers answered to their father, we couldn't lie. Because why? He asked us directly. They defend their decision to speak about their brother. And then, do you have a brother? Okay, this is a clue to us, the readers, obviously. It's Yosef and what? He knows there's a brother at home. But the man asked us, is there a brother at home? And now we couldn't lie. Because that would be not just an omission, it would be a downright sheker. Yes.
This shows the beginning of Shiva.
Yes, why?
Because they're talking
To their father. Excellent. Father. Very nice. Very nice. And we could say that the one who is leading it is Yehuda. And that's very significant as he was the one involved in the selling, right? He was the one who initiated. When they came, let's take him out of the pit and let's what? Make a buck on the side, right? He was the initiator. And so you're right. This is the beginning of the tshuva process in terms of the brothers actually speaking, right? And honestly with their father.
It's also crazy. So I thought, what's now Shimon was there the entire time, even though like he had one son, Binyamin, like the amount of thing that he would avoid just like let another son stay in jail for however long until they actually sent it. Like besides for the food rationing as well.
Well, we know you're right. Shimon is in prison all this time. He's the one that Yosef puts in prison. Originally, he said, all of you will stay behind, right? One of you will go back. In the end, he lets them go, keeping behind what? Shimon as right, this, what?
That's collateral.
Collateral. Okay, Yafeh. There's another hint that we, the readers, pick up that Yosef knows. And he knows the story of Shechem and what happens when Shimon and Levi get together. And if they decided to go against the viceroy of Egypt, he wouldn't have had a chance. He takes Shimon and puts him in prison. He needs to separate these two brothers. Yosef knows the history of his family. It's a very clever decision of why, of all the brothers, he chooses to incarcerate Shimon. Okay? He knows what Shimon and Levi together are what? Are capable of doing when they have something in their mind. And in the case of Shechem, it was in defense of their sister, right? And if they believe that they are coming out in defense of what? Of their siblings, of their father, etc., just like they did in Shechem. So Yosef is very calculated in the choice of which brother he chooses to what? To incarcerate, okay? The man asked us about our family. Do we have a brother? And we told him according to these words, "V'naged lo ha'ele hayodea neda ki yomar horidu et achichem." We told him according to these words that our father is still alive. We have a brother. Could we have known that he would say to us, bring your brother down? Meaning the brothers have a very good defense. The father is upset. Why did you say? He said, first of all,